It's June 6, 2012. I'm here at the local comic shop called Pulp Comics. My name is Reginald Angus Argue. I'm here as a part owner of the business, Paul.
Sole owner.
Sole owner, Paul.
Yes.
You know, one question, looking around right now, it brings back so many memories of my own youth when reading comics. What was the one thing that really inspired you to get involved with the comic business?
Well, I've always read comics my whole life since I was a kid. Like, I've always been a collector, always loved to draw comics. You know, just try to copy the artwork that I saw in the books. And, I mean, that's not what I dreamed of doing at some point in my life, but I just kind of basically fell into it. I used to work for the SPCA in St. Catharines. I was an animal control officer there for 5 years. My father needed a liver transplant in 2009. He was dying of liver failure. So I was the living donor, donate 2/3 of my liver to my father. So that was in February of 2009, and while we were both convalescing, you know, in the week after the surgery, he, you know, thanked me for the gift that I gave him and said, you know, the Humane Society, as much as a fulfilling job as it was very a stressful job, and there was a union involved, and we almost went on strike, and in fact, they did just go on strike this past year. So it was a job that I knew I wouldn't have for forever. And he said, you know, do you want to go back to school? Do you want to open up your own business? Like, how can I help you live your dream? And my sisters, I have 4 sisters, they actually bought me comic books and comic book pajamas when I was in the hospital in Toronto General. So I was reading comics for the first time probably in 15 years when I was in the hospital. And I loved it. I fell in love with it all over again. And it just hit me like a bolt of lightning that that's what I wanted to do. There was always only one comic book store in Niagara Falls that had been here for 20 years, and it just wasn't run very well. It had basically monopolized the market and let itself go, and people were hungry for another option. So 3 months later, I opened up Pulp Comics on May 22nd, 2009.
And you're doing the Comic-Con too. I mean, this is the second year.
Yeah.
What the first year? How received was it, and where was the location?
It was very well received. We did it. It was a free Comic-Con. It was done at the Dave & Buster's restaurant and entertainment complex on Clifton Hill in Niagara Falls, the main tourist area. And we had access to all 3 floors of the restaurant. We had maybe like 15 vendors, 2 or 3 artists. We had Leap and Lanny Poffo as our celebrity. You know, we had the Back to the Future DeLorean car, some stormtroopers, and it was really well received. We probably had about 1,000 people that showed up, families, people of all ages. Some media had shown up too to cover the event, and based on that, you know, support and outcry we had of people showing up, we knew that with the new facility, the Scotia Bank Convention Centre that had just been built last year in Niagara Falls, we knew it was a no-brainer to do it in a proper venue, which is what we're doing for this Saturday.
And who are some of the main acts that you're actually pulling? And I know the Doctor off of Voyager is one. Who are a couple of the other ones? We've
got Robert Picardo from Voyager. We've got Burt Ward, TV's original Robin, and the Batmobile showing up. We've got Bret the Hitman Hart coming in. We've got Chandler Riggs from the Walking Dead TV show coming in. We've got Leatherface Gunnar Hansen from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre coming in. We've got Dustin Screech Diamond from Saved by the Bell coming in. We've got other wrestlers, reality stars, comic book artists, over 50 vendors. The Back to the Future DeLorean's back again. As I said before, the Batmobile. Lots of really cool things for people to see.
And how is this actually helping the local artists too, the up and coming graphic novelist designers?
Yep. We've actually got like most Comic Cons, we have our own artist alley, and that's pretty much dedicated to local artists trying to establish themselves, trying to be discovered, trying to get their work out there, trying to network. And we actually have quite a bit, like almost 24 artist alley tables where people are coming out to try to get their wares out there.
And here you're located on Queen Street, downtown Niagara Falls.
Yep.
You're also mentioning that you get new comics in every once in a while. How often you get the new comics in, and you know how big of the collection is here? I'm looking around and there's comic books everywhere. Like, yeah. What's the numbers that you have here?
Well, new comic book day is Wednesday, so every Wednesday is when the books come in. So it's a weekly shipment that arrives. We probably got about 20,000 back issues in stock, older books from the 60s, 70s, 80s, all the way up to today. Then we've got our new comic books up at the front. And you know, good sellers lately have been the new DC 52 relaunch. DC recently relaunched their entire universe back in September, so those books are very strong. Marvel's got their Avengers vs. X-Men series, which is a very good seller. Of course, Amazing Spider-Man's a great seller. And the new stuff that just started coming out today was Before the Watchmen. The Watchmen is a classic graphic novel from 1987, is getting a prequel series done to it. So all the great talent, writers, and artists of today are basically giving us more story that predates what we've grown up reading in the Watchmen books. And that's going to be a really big seller this summer.
And what is some of the final message you want to leave with people who are starting their own business? And, you know, what kind of advice can you give to them to help them overcome their struggles at first to become successful like yourself right now?
You know, I mean, it's kind of cliche, but follow your dream. If you've got a dream, don't let anybody tell you you can't do it. Try to tap into an existing market. It's very difficult to create your own market. Being on Queen Street, it's a downtown area that's being revitalized. A lot of businesses have come in, but unfortunately a lot of businesses have also gone away. To try to create your own niche market for your own product is very difficult. It's a lot easier to tap into an existing market and put your spin on it, and with your customer service and with your product and price points, that's the best way to keep your customers happy.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for coming in.